Yo, what is going on, everyone? In this video, I want to talk to you guys about the recent PlayStation downtime and how the servers are just essentially not working at all, and how this is actually a major problem, not just on PlayStation, but across, honestly, just all of games. Now, this latest issue brought to my attention just how much these systems really don't do very much nowadays. Now, back when these problems would occur here and again on PlayStation 3, even PlayStation 2, really back when that was a thing, these issues really weren't as big of a problem because the servers would go down even for a few days at times, and people were mostly all right with it because you could just hop back on to some of your single player matches or even play split screen with a friend to pass the time for a little while. Now, with this recent downtime, you'll notice you can't access the PlayStation Store. And so if you wanted to actually go and purchase a new game to try and maybe try out or even download some demos or something like that just to pass the time, you're actually not able to do that. Now, this problem actually goes a lot further because this is actually restricting us from content which we've actually even paid for. Now, interestingly enough, I'm not really too sure how you are still able to go into your game library in any game which you have purchased. You can still download even while the servers are down, meaning that if you didn't have the disc, at least you can still play some of these games, which is good because at first I was like, dang, man, maybe I should have gotten the discs for some of these games because, as you can see, maybe we might not be able to access them. Since at this point, it's kind of in the hands of Sony or whoever these server owners are, whether or not we're allowed on our games nowadays. We're not even really able to access the things we paid for just due to the fact that it's kind of being restricted by the servers now. Now, the craziest thing, although you can still download and play quite a few single player games, there are still single player games which we can't even access. Skyrim, for example, being one of them, which I'll show you guys here in just a second. Now, the thing with Skyrim is that for whatever reason, the save file or something with the game, even though it's an offline game, but I'm guessing most likely because of the mods that are incorporated in the new version, you aren't even able to play Skyrim because in order to get on Skyrim, the game has to first check with the PlayStation servers and make sure everything's authenticated before you can get into the game. That's exactly why you still can't play games like X Defiant or the first Descendant or things like that because it has to authenticate with PlayStation first before it's going to allow you to sign in. Now, if you have an Xbox, a PC, or a mobile phone that maybe is capable of playing some of these games, you could easily still access those games on other devices. However, a lot of people are not going to be in that position. Now, there are still quite a few single player games which you can play. Anotria, for example, being one of them. But over half the games in my library right now, even though they are single player based, are unable to be accessed due to the fact that they're always having to check back to the PlayStation servers to check for little small updates and things like that. Now, I'm really hoping that they eventually make a change to this and make it so that even if, in the case of maybe a power outage or an internet outage, anything like that, maybe you're playing somewhere remote that you don't have internet, you should still be able to access every single game in your library that is a single player game. I don't really see how this is even allowed really at this point. And like I said, guys, there's still a few games you can play, but for the games in which you can't, they really do need to come out with a patch for. Now, let me know what you guys think about this, especially now with this recent downtime and things like that. Is this going to maybe make you guys switch back to disc-based games? Because for me, as much as I do like having the download catalog there, I may honestly consider just going back and getting the physical copies now at this point, just in case one day maybe those download servers do go away, just like we saw recently with the Xbox 360 Marketplace getting completely taken off the internet. Now, you can still download things which you purchased in the past, however, it's completely gone now. And if you don't have a physical copy or a previous account with a download, you will not be able to access any of that content. And eventually, it will probably happen to the PS3, 4, and 5 as well if enough time passes. Now, the craziest thing is that we can't even access certain games which we have the disc for because even still the game has to check with the Sony servers. Now, this is actually a notable thing which happened with the Crew, at least the first Crew. The Crew 2 and Motorsports are still available, but the first Crew, the Crew 1, was completely removed. They shut the servers down from it completely, meaning that even though the game's only 5 or 6 years old, anybody that purchased it can no longer even access anything that they purchased because the servers no longer exist. So this is actually a pretty serious problem in gaming that needs to be addressed, and I'm hoping that it does here pretty soon. So Let me know what you guys think down below. I'm going to catch you in the next one. Peace.